Hello, I'm Alex and I'm one of the co-founders and developers of Paper Turtle Studio. My good friend Gabe is the other half of our business and we are a game dev studio that makes casual and relaxing games. So, recently we've been working on our first game title together called Flock Friends. Flock Friends is an endless runner where you play as Alfonso, a duck who's flying through different terrains to collect slices of bread that are floating in the sky for whatever reason.
Hey y'all, it's Gabe here. So in regards to Paper Turtle Studio and Flock Friends specifically, I was in charge of the engineering side of things, that being gameplay, UX, just all the, in my opinion, really fun stuff to do. As you see here, I'm actually programming and blocking out the beginning version of the game. So again, I was in charge of making sure that the game itself functioned as best as it can. This, of course, is an endless runner, so what that had to do is just make sure that there's obstacles that will ultimately kill you as the player, but also just so that the game is endless. I mean, it's supposed to go on forever, so gotta make it do that. Here, specifically, though, again, I'm just blocking out the game. I'm making sure that, in general, the game in the early stage works so that I can start adding on features. That's just kind of how early dev for a game like this works. It's just making sure that, for one, movement works, but then also just collisions and other rather important aspects of the game. What we ended up doing and deciding is to use tile mapping actually to make the backgrounds of this game. So what I ended up doing specifically for the blocking stage was downloading a tile map asset from the Unity asset store in order to get that base design down, and ultimately as time went on I ended up replacing all of these assets once Alex started getting them to me. Alex, like he said, is in charge of art and design for the game itself and is in charge of making all of the better looking design stuff. So with that, I ended up using tile maps from the asset store and just kind of put together this really janky background just to make it so it's functional again. And at the moment, actually in here, I'm making the obstacles themselves so that while you're flying, you can actually end the game, die, and do all that kind of fun, actual playing a game type stuff.
While Gabe was blocking out the gameplay, I began designing and drawing the assets for the background tiles, as you can see here. First, we had to design the tile sets that would create our tile map, and that's what you're seeing here. I'm designing corners, sides, edges, the blending tiles, everything that goes into making a tile map that will be used in the background of the game. Flock Friends actually has 3 different types of terrains that kind of correlate with the different levels that there are. The first one being a forested level with trees and grass and rivers. The second being a mountain level with, mountains, grass, and also some rivers. There's lots of water in this game. And the last level is city blocks, so it's got roads, it's got buildings, anything that you might think is in a city. And you can kind of see here now that I'm making sure all the tiles line up with each other because they are meant to be placed directly next to each other. So they need to be designed so that they're seamless and natural looking, and that's what I'm kind of doing here with these tiles, is shaping them to look a little bit more natural. It's not a realistic game at all whatsoever, but we do want it to be recognizable as, well, water and grass.
I would like to disagree with that. This is the most realistic game anyone has ever made. As you can see, the world is just in block form. which is again realistic. You look outside, it's basically Minecraft out there, right? Yeah, you all agree with me. Anyways, what's going on right here is just the actual implementation of the background. So Alex, on the right, you can see he has gotten me the tile map itself for the background. So what we've been able to do is quickly and easily design the backgrounds and the different levels of sequences in a lot better of a fashion than if each one was its own asset, basically. So this allows us to just quickly and easily redesign levels how we want, where we want, and in actually a pretty neat way. So like Alex said, has to line up, has to look good. It's got a lot of water in here also, as he mentioned, and ultimately he did a great job with the assets, and now I'm just in here placing it, making it look, marginally okay. He's again the art person. I'm just kind of here to make things functional. So what you just saw was the mountain background, and here is the city background. So this area is what the city is going to look like. As you can see, it's got road, buildings, and the reason we have multiple different styles of backgrounds is just to add variety, so that because this is a endless runner, if you play it for an hour, which is possible, you don't get bored with yourself over time. And as you can also see, Alex got us multiple obstacles to play around with also. And honestly, he did a really good job with it. I gotta say, again, I'm not the artsy fartsy person. He is. I just make things function. But he worked his butt off and did some really great stuff with it. And now I just gotta make it look worse. Yeah. Anyways, you can also see the bread slices, which I personally think is the funniest thing ever. It's just a slice of bread on the ground that the bird picks up and can use as currency. As I said, it's the most realistic game ever. I love it. So yeah, as you see, it's just continuing to place water, place the background so that there's some variation. Placing the obstacles is making it actually fairly difficult because ultimately we want the game to be fun.
The last thing we were working on this week were character animations. Here I am designing and animating Pango the Penguin, which is one of the flock friends that joins your journey along the way. He flies with a jetpack, so you will see that I'm also simultaneously animating the jetpack that will be on Pango's back, because penguins can't fly, but jetpacks definitely can get them in the air. Guarantee. So I'm kind of just drawing the same body over and over and over again, but adjusting the wings and adjusting the flames of the rocket to show that it's moving. Oh, and if you're curious, this is an 8-frame animation, 5 unique frames and 3 are repeated. So there's a nice seamless loop between the first and 5th frame that are not repeated, if that makes sense. And here is how the animation turned out. Pretty cool, right? Thanks for watching this first weekly update. If you enjoyed the video, please don't hesitate to leave a like and let us know. We'll be posting more videos, so subscribe for more updates on what we're doing over here at Paper Turtle Studio. If you want to see more from us, follow all our social media accounts. They're all linked in the description below. We'll see you in the next video.